My name is Yuri Kasdorp, and I'm back for another track guide. This week for the GT3 Sprint Series, we are at Fuji. We're in the Ferrari 296 again. Just a good car this season. Enjoyable to drive as well. Quite a tricky track, especially the last sector is very, very tricky. Couple lines you need to learn how to take it properly and keep the balance in the car. Without further ado, let's get into it and see how we drive around this track. Right, so here we are, last sector. About to start the lap on race field as usual. And the Ferrari here, because we got a turbo in the car, which helps the car with a bit more power and elevation compared to the naturally aspirated cars. BMW used to always be a good choice here, but I think the Ferrari has a bit more traction. I'm going to be looking to get close to the yellow anti-cuts there, but never really run over them. They don't just upset the car, but they can even damage the car as well. So all around the track you want to avoid those. Got the big straight here. We trimmed out a bit of rear wing to get a bit extra top speed. Look at the 100 for turn 1, brake just before that. Bring the car over to the right side again. Turn 2, we're going to be looking to clip the inside bollard. So aim for the inside bollard here. Turn 3, you want to be really easy on the brakes. If you brake too much, it's really easy to overload the front of this car. Bring it over to the right side. Careful on entry here as well. Then for the really slow chicane, you're looking at the track for the brake marker. You can hop the curb a bit on the inside here if you want. Outside, and again looking at the track for the brake marker. Make sure the rear doesn't step out here. On entry and on exit. All the way to the left side. Get a good exit. Again, close the anti-cuts without actually going over them. That's the lap around Fuji. Right, so here we are, start the lap. Gonna be looking at the 100 mark on the left side here. Line the car up on the left side, brake in a straight line. Then brake just before the 100, keeping it to the left. You're gonna go either second or first gear here. Try to use the elevation on the right side here to keep the speed up. And use the curb like this with 2 tires on the curb that won't be an off track. And we get to a bit more interesting, turn 2. Try to open the car up, or the corner up. We're bringing the tires as close to the gas as we can, without getting onto it consistently. So if you can bring it really close to it, you're gaining a bit. If you're not comfortable with that, just put it somewhere on the curb. We're going to be looking at the bollard on the inside. If you're still looking at the right side here, I think you're too late looking at the right side. So you're looking at the bollard and try to, with your driver, clip the bollard. So I'm even missing it a bit here. I'm getting close to it. You can even drive through it a bit more and cut the corner a bit more without getting an off track here. You want to be using the exit here again, so left side tires, inside tires on the curb. As long as you're back before this red and white curb ends, it won't be an off track. Now we get this really long sweeper, and you have to be really careful if your throttle and brake inputs here. If you have too much throttle or too much brake, you're going to overload the outside tires. They're really high on load here, and the car is going to either understeer, which is what happens most of the time in this car, or oversteer. I've mostly had this car when I'm really pushing, tend to understeer. So I want to be sure that I'm not braking too hard and overloading that left front. So go in pretty slow, let the car be pretty stable through the middle of the corner here, no inputs at all. And once I've got the rotation, I can go back on throttle. And I want to go on throttle as early as I can, while still making to the right side curb, braking for the next left-hander. So if I'm on throttle too early, I'm exiting too far to the left side, and I cannot make it all the way to the right side anymore to open it up. So I'll make sure that I'm back to the right side, on the curb here, braking for the next left-hander. And again, brake early. If you're going in too deep with this car, the car tends to understeer on entry. So you want to take it a bit easier on entry. Make sure you get a good exit out of the corner. Again, you can run with the inside tires on the red and white curb. Then we get to the really tricky section, the tight chicane. There are brake markers, but they're all the way on the right side, and I think they are quite hard to spot while you're in the car. You can go in the car with my POV if you want. They're all the way on the right, and they're not really a good brake marker for me to look at. So what I look at is this tire mark coming across. This will always be the same in every session you load up. So what I use as a brake marker is where this tire marker here is kind of in a triangle. So it goes to the right and it goes to the left. That point at the start of that, I tend to start braking. Right here. Keep the car on the left side. You can clip the inside curb here to open up the left-hander a bit more. That's fine. It doesn't upset the car too much because we're on low speed. Even though the curb is quite high, the car doesn't get upset too much. Try to open up the left-hander here a bit, so we can be on throttle early. Avoid the anti-cut on the right side here. If you clip this, it can upset the car and even sometimes give the car some damage. So you want to avoid running all the way over this. Bring the car over to the left side, close to the curb here to open up the corner. I use the markers on the track here where the rubber starts as a brake marker. Only very light on the brake. Get the car rotated and then keep the speed up. Again, the anti-cuts, the big yellow sausage on the left side, you want to avoid those. Can cause damage on the car. Then what I like to do for the next left-hander, I think it's the trickiest corner on the track. Maybe this one or the last one. I like to follow the inside curb here and not go all the way to the outside. If you go a bit deeper, you're going to have to brake a bit harder and turn a bit more. And it tends to upset the rear of the car more, but you do get a better exit. So it depends a bit on what kind of setup you're running, if you're able to do that or not. I keep it fairly tight, not too hard on the brakes, not too hard on the throttle either, because the rear tends to step out a bit here. Again, on the exit, avoid the yellow anti-cuts. Then quickly bring the car over to the left side. Very, very wide the track here. I want to follow the curb and then look at this white line next to the track. And before that white line, I start braking, so that at this white line, I start turning and making it to the inside of the track. I lost the rear a bit here on the entry, as you can see. Car then starts to understeer a bit, so I miss the apex a bit. It doesn't change the point where I want to start turning in. At the white line here, you want to start making to the inside. And you want to be close to the anti-cut here on the inside normally, and then do the same on the exit as well. Close to the anti-cut without running completely over it. And all you have left then is the big long straight, and if you manage to trim a bit of rear wing off in the setup, survive the middle section, you're going to reap the rewards here and get that time and a bit maybe back on your competition. That's a lap around Fuji. Alright, so there we go, another track guide done. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and see you guys next week for the next track guide.